Movie starts with a race, in which we are shown a bike race, in which we see a man whose name is Li, and Li wins that race. And the one who lost was a girl whose name is Sue. Li loved Sue, but she didn't pay any attention to Li, and she left without saying anything. Just then, his friend Casa comes to Li and the two are returning home together. Suddenly there comes a man wearing a mask and he likes Li's bike very much, and he also praises it. And he tells Li to make such a bike for him, but Li ignores him and leaves from there. The scene shifts where we see a little boy in a city. That kid does the work of distributing newspapers. The water of that city was decreasing day by day, due to which there was a shortage of water in the city. Then we are shown Li, who works part-time as a delivery boy. One day a man gives Li a parcel for delivery, which he had to deliver in another city. When Li reaches another city, he sees that the people all there are very happy. No one has any kind of shortage or problem, and he starts thinking that one is this city and on the other side is his city, where people are dying due to lack of water. Seeing all this, Li gets sad for his city. On the way, Li sees a small thirsty girl being denied water, so Li gets angry and breaks the main water lock, leaving the entire city with water. Seeing which people become very happy, and seeing people happy, Li also feels good, and Li returns to his house. The next day, he is asked to supply another parcel, and when he approaches the parcel he finds that it contains a kitten. Li tries to get the kitten to its owner, but he does not find his owner because the address given to him on the parcel was actually wrong, and Li wonders what to do with this kitten. Then he gifts that child to his friend Casa. Casa gets very happy seeing the cat because that little kitten was so cute. Then we are shown that Casa is a bar singer, and she sings every night in the bar. On the other hand, in the movie we are shown James, who is the villain's son. James is chatting with his assistant about the supply of water when Li arrives with his friend, Casa, and then James glances at Li's bike, and he likes Li's bike very much at a glance, after which he asks Li to sell the bike, asking him the price of his bike. But that bike was Li's favorite bike and he does not want to sell it, so he leaves from there without answering, due to which James does not like all this. Now Li comes to his house with Casa and they start having dinner where Li's father is scolding Li as usual, due to which Li gets angry and in the middle he leaves the food, takes the Casa and leaves from there. Just then, Li sees that James and his men are following him. Seeing this, Casa gets scared, after which both of them have an amazing fight. During that time we see that James also had some unique powers, using which he badly injured Li, and then Li's bike falls at Casa's feet. Seeing this, Li gets angry, and today for the first time Li also realizes his unique power, after which he attacks James with that power and injures him a lot. After which James runs away because he is very injured and comes home to get his treatment. After this, James' assistant tells the whole thing to James' father and says that Li is Nezha, who has now returned, threatening your son's life. On the other hand, when Li regains consciousness, he finds himself in a hospital and sees that she is mortally injured. That's when his eyes fall on the doctor treating him. She is none other than Sue. He then goes to meet Casa, asking Sue about Casa. On reaching Casa, he sees that Casa's leg was completely damaged in that fight. This makes Li very angry. Just then James' father comes to visit Li and apologizes for his son's mistake and also returns his bike to him. Also offers a bag full of money, but Li was very angry with what happened and he angrily took the bike from there. Seeing Li's anger, James's father tells his assistant that before he becomes more powerful and gets his powers, finish it before that. At the same time, Li is followed by his brother and he explains to him that don't quarrel with James' father in any way. Don't mess with him. Just then some miscreants attack Li and try to kill Li. These are the same crooks sent by James' father to kill Li. They start attacking Li badly. The crooks were about to kill Li when Li saved himself with his power, but then the maskman arrives and saves Li's life. But Li sees that his brother is badly injured and now he picks him up and rushes to the hospital. On the other hand, James tells his father to kill Li, after which his father tells him his story that he himself is the Dragon King of the Sea and the wounds he received 3,000 years ago have not yet healed. He says that Nezha is very strong and powerful. It is impossible to defeat him. Meanwhile, Li goes to meet Mask Man as he wants to know more about Nezha. In the talk, Li learns that James is the same dragon that Nezha had killed. At the same time, James also learns how Nezha killed him. He also learns that his father had killed him. Using full power, he was brought back to life by giving him a steel dragon spine. But after that, he lost his memory, and now James' father tells his son how he, along with his dragon companions, forced Nezha to kill himself, but during that time a part of Nezha's soul escaped from our clutches, because of which he is born again and again as a human being, and every time he has a different form, and since then we are keeping an eye on this city. Whenever we have any doubt on anyone, whatever, we eliminate it immediately. Knowing all this, James is ready to go to any lengths to take revenge on Li, but his father explains to him that he does not have the dragon scroll yet, and without it he cannot kill Nezha, so till then you can get this work done by someone else. For this, they reach the maskman and ask him to do the work of killing Nezha, and in return, they offer maskman a lot of money. At the same time, when Li sees his bike, he begins to visualize something and he gets angry, which causes his bike to catch fire. And the people around there run to extinguish that fire. Now Li goes back to the masked man to meet him, and requests him to train him to control his power, and in return he also offers to give him his bike. The masked man agrees to give training and starts his training, and we see that Li soon learns to control his powers. And now he has a final fight with Maskman, and during that masked man's mask falls and we come to know that there was a monkey behind that mask. He gets very angry at Li when the mask comes off, and Li gets angry too, and Li senses his power and wake up his power. Masked man tells Li that if you want all of Nezha's powers, you'll need a stray for that, which is part of Nezha's magic ribbon, and all the astray is also with that badass Dragon King. The next day, James, along with his assistant, approaches Li to eliminate him. We see his assistant posing as a monster frog and attacking Li, and now there is a dangerous fight between Li and Monster, and in this fight, Monster Frog is badly injured. Same, a friend of Li's who feels jealous seeing Li's power, and meets James and says that together we can kill Li easily. Now, in the next scene, Li is shown sad at Kasa's house when Sue comes over there and talks to him and says that I knew you are not an ordinary person. You are totally different from others. On the other hand, Kasa gets up from her bed and goes to sit in one place because she was very sad. Just then, she notices a man who was trying to sabotage Li's suit, and Li's injured friend lying on the bed tries to stop him from doing so. But that guy kills him by pressing his face with a pillow. Kasa was watching all this from afar, and that guy also sees while looking at Kasa. Kasa tries to save her life and the guy goes after her to kill her. But then all of a sudden there starts to explode. That attack was done by the people of James. Now Li also reaches there and starts fighting with them. Those people can't stand in front of Li for long, and Li starts getting loaded on them. But suddenly problems start in Li's suit. But still Li does not give up and continues to fight. But that fight kills Li's father. This makes Li very sad. On the other hand, when Masked Man reaches James' father, he finds that he has controlled the water of the whole city, and this is the reason why the whole city is facing water scarcity. Just then James and his father arrive, and then James's father tells him to stop training Li, or else James's father will drag all the rest of the water into himself and set up a new world of their own, because he is the water dragon king, and with water his power increases manifold, because as soon as he touches the water, its speed is twice. But Masked Man refuses, so he tries to catch him, but then Li also comes there. Seeing this, he also hides himself with water, and now there is a fight between Li and James, and now he fights with Li as a white dragon, but he is killed in that fight. Just then, taking advantage of the opportunity, a girl is about to attack Li, when Masked Man comes in the middle and stops her. Now that girl tells how many innocent people she killed in the past. Hearing that girl's words, Li gets badly disturbed and tells her to leave from there. After the girl leaves, Masked Man also tells her the fact that he is also a monkey and shows Li his ears, that he has 6 ears, and says that those people are using his astress. Under the water, the dragon has a whole city of its own. Now Li also understood why the city was facing so much water problem. Now Li goes to meet Kasa. The same guy was pointing a knife at her, but Kasa hits him with the foot and he dies due to his fall. Now Li goes to his father's grave and promises that he will save the city in any case. But Li is very sad somewhere and he leaves from there alone. Then the Dragon King's men pick up Sue and take her away. Li has also reached the Dragon Palace and tries to get his magic ribbon. So the Dragon King tells him that if he does this then Sue will be killed, and now he has come in his original form. Now he attacks Li. A fight ensues between the two and the Dragon King begins to overpower Li. Seeing himself becoming weak, today he wakes up to his Nezha power. Then Dragon King also eats the dragon coil, and all his imprisoned dragons now come out and start creating terror in the whole world. Just then, Li kills him using his Nezha power, but Li himself is killed during that time. Sue gets very sad seeing all this. On the other hand, we are shown the soul of Nezha. The Nezha tells him to see his reckoning, but Nezha transfers his powers back to Li, and Li comes back alive, which makes Sue overjoyed. Then Li kills all the dragons with his combined power and saves the whole world from destruction. Now everything becomes normal, and now the whole city becomes